Hello, everyone. Let me jump over here. Let me see the comments that you all are joining. Welcome to day one of our 5-day Wealth with Ease activation experience. Come on in. Let me know that you're here. I got a little like, where is everyone? So hang on. There we all are. All right, here we are coming in. Happy day one. Happy day one of our 5-day Wealth with Ease experience. As we get started, I'm going to jump right in. And the very first thing that we have, the very first order of business is, what are we talking about today? Today, we're talking about how to use neuroscience to change your brain so that you can experience wealth with ease. That's today. That's what we're talking about. That's, matter number one. Number two, you all got $11,111, a whole bunch of ones, because I love numerology. So you all got over $11,000 of play money to spend on something fun for you, just a treat for you. I want to hear, blow me up in the comments. Let me know you woke up to $11,000 unexpected money. Imagine that that's real. How did you spend it? What did you buy? What did you treat yourself to? Let me know in the comments. This is my favorite part. And for those of you who this is your first time, you're like, what is she talking about? So every time we do this 5-day Wealth with Ease activation, part of all of this is we play. We literally use play to reprogram our minds. And you just wake up. We give you a different amount of play money every morning, and you have 24 hours to spend it. And so we also tell you how you should spend it. So in our Facebook group, PS, if you're not in the Facebook group, make sure that you're there. The name of the Facebook group is Wealth with Ease Activation. And in that group, everyone's posting their pictures and sharing with each other. This is how I spent my $11,000. I've seen people taking trips, buying purses, all kinds of fun, amazing things. And what we might not realize is in this fun activity of play, we're actually putting ourselves in the place of wealth, like that state where imagine what it would be like. All my bills are paid. I've done all the charity work I want to do. I've taken care of everyone. And I literally just have $11,000 available for me to treat myself, to treat me. I know that this is one of the hardest things for women. So I started day one, something for you. If I gave you $11,000 and said, spend it on somebody, you'd do it in a breeze, right? But part of becoming wealthy is honoring that you deserve to treat yourself. So I want to hear all of the ways that you all found to spend your $11,000 today. Let me know in the chat. And let us jump into why we're here. For me, I have one goal this week, and that is to share with you the message of freedom that has been deposited on my heart. Now you're like, Tasha, wait, what? Freedom? I'm here for Wealth with Ease. What are you talking about? Hang tight. It's all going to make sense in a few minutes. And there are so many of you that are new to our family. So I want to introduce myself. I'm Tasha. I'm going to be your mentor and your guide for this entire week. You want to be joining us every day at 12 Eastern. I'm going to be on here sharing all kinds of new ways of thinking, not new information, but maybe new ways of thinking around how to experience wealth with ease in your life. So make sure you have it scheduled. You're going to join us every day at 12 Eastern this week. And remember that my purpose, my intention for being here is to deliver this message of freedom. I've been teaching women, 11 years now. For 11 years. I would say over 50,000 women have walked through the doors in some capacity in my teaching in the past 11 years. And I have been showing women how to walk this journey to experience wealth. And in the 11 years, there's something that I've noticed. There are 4, I would say, dominant feelings that women walking in when they first meet me, 4 things that they share. This is how they're feeling. And I just want to share them with you because as we begin this journey, you may be able to relate. Number 1, they'll say, Tasha, I feel exhausted. I am working so hard, striving for success, and it is exhausting. Another thing that they'll say is, Tasha, I actually feel like I might be addicted to financial fear. I cannot stop worrying about money, even when I have enough. Even when I have enough, like I still do it. I worry about money incessantly all the time. Something else that they'll share with me is I feel overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed by my life. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to be successful at my business, at my job, at being a good wife. I'm trying to be successful being a mom. I'm trying to run a perfect household. I'm trying to get to the gym. I'm just trying to do life and business well, and it's overwhelming. But the one that really is on my heart is when a woman says, Tasha, I feel stuck. I feel stuck. And it's not the kind of stuck that's like I'm stuck in one place, not moving. It's this feeling of I'm actually stuck in between working really hard and actually achieving my dreams, actually living a life I love. Like I'm in the middle and I'm not moving. I am moving really fast, but I'm going nowhere. It's like I'm on a hamster wheel and I'm just stuck in this one place over. I wake up, I do the same thing I did yesterday over and over and over again, but I'm not moving. And I wanted to share that with you just to see if maybe you can relate to that. I know for me, there are moments, I'll be honest with you, there are days when I'm like, holy moly, I kind of feel one of those today. But definitely when I started on this journey, I was all four of those to the nth degree. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that with you all soon. But can you relate to that feeling? The feeling of I'm exhausted. I feel exhausted. I might be addicted to financial fear because I literally cannot stop worrying about money. I feel overwhelmed or I feel stuck. And as much as I have like understood how to relate to women feeling that way in the last 11 years, 50,000 women later, I also know, I know this, and I know it from my own life too. I know what we crave. As women, we crave ease. We crave it. We crave ease. We crave clarity, being crystal clear. Just can you just make it easy and clear? We crave financial peace, not financial freedom. As much as you think you crave financial freedom, you know what we really want? And I'm talking about 50,000 women later. We really want financial peace. Tasha, I just don't want to worry about money ever again. That kind of peace. And we crave support, the kind of support where you know someone is holding your hands, showing you the way, celebrating you along the way, like being there for you on the days when, like, you know what, I just need somebody to see this vision for me. We crave support. Is that you? Because I know that's me. I literally crave ease. I crave clarity, like just let my mind be clear. I know exactly what to do. I crave financial peace. I do not love to worry about money. And I crave that feeling of I am supported. I'm not doing this alone. If that is you, let me know. Blow up. Let Tasha, that's me. You're literally talking to me. Let me know in the comments. I'm looking this way because that's where I get to see the comments. And so what I want to say is, having done this for 11 years, I am at the point on my journey as a mentor where I believe wholeheartedly in the wisdom of women. I believe that if we actually knew and understood exactly what to do to create wealth with ease, if we understood it and we were supported in actually doing the things, we could experience freedom. What do I mean when I say freedom? Freedom to live a life that is easy and relaxed, freedom to enjoy financial peace, the freedom to do work that you love. That is freedom. You literally are just going through life easy. Everything is relaxed. You're allowing, you're in flow. You do work you love, and money is available in abundance. As much wealth as you desire for whatever level you desire it. That is freedom. And so I just want to thank you for showing up today so I could deliver this message of freedom, this message that will show you the path to wealth with ease. Mwah. Thank you. And now, the reason you're all here. I want us to talk about how to remake our brains, how we got here in the first place. What is the history of the brain, right? Today's topic is all around how this brain of ours got created. Is it helping us? What's the history of it? Why are we working so hard? How can we change it? Ready? Are you ready to learn how to do that? Type yes. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. The first thing that you want to understand, hang on, I want to put this up here because I want you to see it. The first thing that we have to understand, like the ground rules before we move forward, is this. Any result that you see in your life, I want you to look at your bank account. I want you to look at your marriages. I want you to look at your business, the way clients flow. Anything that you deem a result in your life is made up of only two things. 80% of the result that you have, let's look at your finances. Let's look at your business. Let's look at, how much you get paid in your career. That number is a result. It is made up of 80% what's going on in your brain and 20% your effort. So you're like, oh, really? Wait a second. I thought what my clients pay me, what I have in my bank, the level of success my business is at is correlated to my effort, how hard I'm working. No. And so we need that foundationally first before we have the rest of this conversation. Can you all type that? My results equals 80% brain plus 20% effort. That is like the basic. We all have to be on the same page about that before we can go any further. So can you all type that in the comments? Let me jump over here and see. All right. So now, I love it. I love when you all type. So now let's talk about how we got here in the first place. How did we get here? What's the history of the brain? And I'm going to show you this fun little diagram that I've got prepared for you all. So way back when we were just organisms, way back in time when we were at first just organisms, the first brain, the first neural system was actually the body, which was in essence the gut. That neural system and the purpose of it was really just to digest food. And then as we evolved from being an organism to the shape of a human, let's just say, we developed a second brain. We call that the head brain. Let's just say this is the body decided, you know what, we need another brain, not just to digest food, but we need something that will help to protect us and make us survive. And so the next brain that got developed was very basic. It was reptile brain and the limbic system and a very thin cortex. And so over time, 250 million years ago, really, the purpose of that brain in humans was just, you know what, go for it, get food, get safety, get some pleasure, and reproduce. That's it. That's all you have to think about. And back then, we just chilled. Everything was available in abundance. It was like, oh, this is the life, right? We saw things as abundantly available. And our brain was just trying to process, how can I get food? How can I stay safe? How can I have pleasure? How can I reproduce? That was it. And then 2 million years ago, humans encountered fire. And the entire thing changed. Why? Because now we could cook meat. We could process protein, eat more of it, and that allowed the cortex portion of our brain to thicken and become more dense. And you know what that gave us? Are you ready for it? Logic and intelligence. And have you ever heard the term survival of the fittest? This is where it came from. We were now smarter than everybody else, smarter than all the other species. And you know what we decided? Ooh, now we can actually do things to survive longer, to take more, to compete, to dominate. Let us be the fittest of all the species. And so what happened when this part of our brain developed is that intelligence and logic said, if you want to survive more, if you want to have more than all the other species, you have to do more than them. You have to be stronger, faster, smarter. And in essence, we moved from this life of abundance and everything being available to the idea of scarcity and competition. And ultimately, this is where we became addicted to doing. The only way that we were going to be better than everybody else was we had to do more. And so you're probably going, okay, great. Tasha, thanks for the science lesson. What does that have to do with me today, right now, looking to experience wealth with ease? It has everything to do with it. Here is why. You and I are living out 2 million years of brain development in humans that was wired and built on a belief that in order to survive, you have to do more, you have to work harder. And if not just, you don't, if you're like, oh, I'm overambitious, I just don't want to survive, I want to thrive, ooh, then you have to work even harder than everyone else. And so I need you to understand what this means, because 2 million years, I want to show like this scale so that you understand what we, in essence, traded way back when. We had, at first, we had the life of ease. We were simple brained and we just were like, oh, pleasure, safety, reproduce. That's it. Life is good. Everything's available in abundance. And we traded that when we got logic and intelligence for frantic lives. We became addicted to doing more. And what's the result? 2 million years later, we are exhausted. We're exhausted. And so now, now you're like, oh, I'm exhausted. I want ease. I just want wealth and I want ease. And your 2 million year programmed brain is going, ooh, sounds like you're saying you want more. No problem. I know what you need to do. Work harder, do more. That's how you get anything else that you want. Any result is your brain is wired to tell you, go do more. Now let's add to that, right? We got 2 million years going against us. Let's add to that the fact that you've got this idea reinforced in our academics. You go to school, you got to work harder, get better grades than everybody else, like, right? Thrive, thrive, thrive. That means working harder than everyone else. Or you want your family wants you to succeed. What do? They reinforce the only way they know, because 2 million years has shown, work hard. Our culture, our society, our academics, everywhere you turn, the narrative is to get any result that's worthwhile, you have to work hard. Do you understand why we are addicted to working hard? Does it make sense to you? Because for me, I told you I have this freedom message, and I need you to understand why we're here. I need you to understand the history that's gotten us here. And so if you are like me right now, you're going, oh my gosh, Tasha, do we even have a chance? I'm here because I want wealth with ease. Do I even have a chance? I'm working against 2 million years of what my brain has believed. Okay, here's the great news. It took you 2 million years to develop that belief, right? Throughout generations, it'll take you 28 days to change it. If that's not great news, I don't know what is. For me, I'm like, bring it, tell me all the details. And so I want to share with you that even though I'm not a scientist, I'm not a neuroscientist by any means, I'm just a woman who was at one point in my life 11 years ago, just fresh out of Chapter 11 bankruptcy, newly divorced, no income, and bills that were beyond my like capacity to deal with. But here's the thing, I lived struck with financial fear. You talk about being overwhelmed, being unclear. I had all those things, but the thing that really kept me like stuck was financial fear. And I want to share with you how I came to this science. I literally just observed my life and I was like curious about what was going on. But this moment right here did it for me. So I'm newly divorced. I've got my 2 kids. I've got all my bills. And every single day I sat on the kitchen floor crying in fear. I literally was afraid because I had sought success and I had become very successful. I built $1 million business, but it cost me my marriage, my health, nearly my children. And I was just in this place of my brain is telling me, if you want to succeed, you have to work hard. You have to sacrifice. Well, I had just done that and I pretty much lost everything, nearly everything. And so for me, I had this internal battle going, I don't want to do that again. I don't know what to do. And so I'm stuck, right? And every single afternoon, after spending 8 hours while the kids were at school in this financial fear on the kitchen floor crying, Every afternoon, I would go to the mailbox and there would be the evidence to prove you really are a financial failure. Yep. And you know what? You're not going to dig yourself out of this. And it looked like overdraft notices, unpaid bills, letters from creditors, every day would be in the mailbox. Until one afternoon, I opened the mailbox. There was my evidence as usual, but I glanced at my son and in an instant I looked away. And that was my defining moment, literally less than a second. I asked myself, why'd you look away? What was that about? Why are you trying to hide from your kid? And the answer was because I am ashamed and guilty of where I've gotten. If I don't change this right now, this is going to be the legacy that I leave my kids. And I just want to pause for a moment and ask you, I told you that 80% of the results you have in your life is because of how you're thinking. My friends, that's not rocket science. I didn't just tell you like the formula to world peace. We all know that at this point. Every single one of you here knows the results you have in your life is 80% based on the way you think. If you're working hard, it's because you think you have to. If you have X amount of dollars in the bank, it's because you think that's what you should have, right? Literally, if it's hard for you to get clients, if it's hard for you to get paid, if it's hard for you to keep money, 80% of any result you have in your life is how you think. But you knew that. Nothing here is brand new. And I was speaking to a few ladies who said, Tasha, I know that, but I'm not really ready to do the work. And I was like, that's interesting. So I'm going to tell you about what did it for me. Because for me, that moment, looking at my kids, knowing if I did not change something, this was going to be the legacy I left for them. I couldn't wait till they were 18 to do it, till I had all the time in the world. I could, like, that moment right there was, it's now. It is now. I need to change this, or this is going to be the legacy I leave for them. And so I went inside that day and I took this journal. This journal is 11 years old. It's starting to disintegrate on my desk, but I want to show you what I did. I walked in, I grabbed this journal, I opened it, and I wrote my life. And I decided I am going to change the way I think so I can create a new life. And the very first entry, there it is, very first entry says, I can have money and freedom too. Because I literally realized my brain was saying, if you pursue success and wealth, you are going to lose the freedom of spending time with your kids, of having a quality life, of taking vacation. You're going to give it up. And so I was stuck because I didn't want to become successful and lose that again, right? So that's my first entry. Here's my second entry. I wrote, I'm so grateful for my life and truly honored to learn that all that I've believed possible and wished for, I created with my thoughts. Even when they seem far-fetched, I dreamed anyway, knowing it all starts with my thoughts. I love the ease, the fun, the peacefulness, and the laughter of my everyday life. It fills me with gratitude, knowing that financially, I have the physical evidence of immense abundance of my life. Immense abundance in my life. I wrote about the house I lived in, the car I drove, but here's what I want you to hear. I love what I do that brings money to my life. It is the best use of my gifts and talents, and it comes so naturally and easy to me. The best part is the fun I am having doing it. My friends, when I wrote that, let me tell you what was going on in my brain. You'll never succeed. You'll never be able to do something you love and make money. You'll never have peace. You'll never be free. You'll never this, you'll never that. It's not going to work. You're not enough. All of that. I grabbed my journal, and even without being a neuroscientist, I realized I figured something out. What I was thinking, my brain was creating the results I saw in that mailbox every day. Simple as that. See this journal here? See how filled it is? I spent the next few months, every time I had a thought, I changed it. And now it's your turn. I want to invite you, all of you. I'm going to give you a word to type in a minute, and this is going to be your homework for day number 1. This is your chance to change your brain. The first step in doing that you've all heard about metacognition. It's the process of asking yourself, what am I thinking? You probably just realize, oh my gosh, I've got 2 million years of brain development that says I have to work hard for any results. That's literally what my brain is thinking. When I ask the women when I meet them, what are you thinking about your business? They're like, oh, I've never really thought about what I'm thinking. Oh, well, what you're thinking is creating the results. And so I asked, so let's talk about it. Think, what are you thinking? What do you think about your business? It's hard. What do you think about getting clients and having them stay and having them be consistent? Oh, I don't know where to find them. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to build funnels. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. I can't figure it out. It's not easy. I don't know what to like. It's a lot of that's what's going on in your brain, right? So step number one is to become aware of what you're thinking and to ask yourself, do I want to think that? Is this what I want to think? And so this activity that I'm going to give you to do as homework is to make an inventory of your thoughts related to your business, your career, your finances, anything to do with wealth and how it comes into your life. You're going to be honest with yourself about what you are thinking. And then you're going to ask yourself, do I want to think this? And you're going to write the opposite, just like I did in my journal. I've got on the sheet, I've got some examples for you of thoughts that I've had and how I flip them to say, this is what I want myself to think, right? So that's activity number one. If you want to get that worksheet, type the word change. Go ahead, type the word change in the comments, whether you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, type the word change, check your DM when this is done. You're going to get your worksheet. And I'm also going to give you a fun little affirmation that I shared with someone on my team to reframe working hard. So those are two things you're going to get. Type the word change in the comments and then check your DM later. You're going to get the worksheet. You can download it. That's your homework for today. Now, that's step number one, metacognition, becoming aware of your thoughts and asking yourself, is this what I want to think? And then saying, well, what do I want to think, and changing it. But here's the best part. Here's the best part. Can we change 2 million years of brain development? Yes. When I said 1,000% yes, here is what we were gifted when we were created. Neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity says you, me, we can self-direct changing our brain. You can remake your brain. You can rewire, reprogram your brain from what it's believed for 2 million years to what you want it to believe. That to me is freedom. This is God's gift to humanity, free will, the ability to change your brain. I don't know if you get that. I don't know if you understand, like you don't need a surgeon to go in there and reprogram and rewire it. We can do it. You can do this. That is freedom, right? And so one of my favorite songs is by Bob Marley, Emancipate Yourselves from Mental Slavery. I do not have to live the mental programming of 2 million years that says I have to work hard for anything I want in my life. I can literally go, I don't agree. And here's what I want it to be. That to me is amazing. So even though that's amazing, do you want to know the easy way to do this? You know, I love when you all blow me up. So let me know in the comments, do you want to know the easier way to do this? Yes or yes? Let me see. Let me know. Blow me up in the comments. Do you want to know? Yes, no, maybe. I'm thinking about it. What's your answer? Do you want to know? Do you want to know the easier way to do this? This is like my latest, greatest awareness in my life, and I want to share it with you fresh off of my own experience. I love it. Let's see. Yes, I want to hear, I want to see the, give it to me, Tasha. I love it. Here we go. Remember our forefathers, our foremothers, right? Prehistoric, the 2 million year ago brain. It was developed to compete, to be better than, to do more. And so when we go to define wealth from the place of ego, where we go from that brain, the logic and intelligence portion of our brain that says, oh, I want more wealth so I can have more. What you do when you define wealth in that way is you activate 2 million years that says, no problem, you need to work hard for it. If you want to experience wealth with ease and you want to do it the easy way, then you have to come at it from a different angle. And step number one is you have to redefine wealth. Redefine wealth from the spirit need, not the ego need. And so this is what I have been doing these last 12 months in my life. I have literally gone, I am ripping everything down and starting over. What do I mean when I say I want wealth? The spirit need for wealth is contribution and growth. Tony Robbins says you have 6 human needs, but the two that you need in order to feel fulfilled is you need contribution and you need growth. Those are your spirit needs. And when you acquire something on the basis of what your spirit needs, your spirit finds the way to bring it to you. Not your ego, not your logic, not your intelligence, which is going to say, you want this, work your ass off to get it. Excuse my language. So we're going to redefine wealth. Here's how we're going to do it. First, we're going to look at contribution. When I think of becoming wealthy, it is so that, the number one reason why women tell me they want wealth blew my mind. Blew my mind. They want to be wealthy so they can retire their husbands. Number one reason, especially women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. That's a spirit need. Truthfully, you're coming from the place of my husband has supported me. He's held down the household while I've pursued all these things. And it's not because you want your husband to chill and do nothing. It literally is just your spirit saying contribution, right? We want our kids to have a better future than we did. We want them to go to any college they want. We want to make sure our parents are provided for and taken care of in their elderly years. When I think of contribution in terms of wealth for me, I want to make sure, what's my mission? 100 women becoming millionaires. Oh, by the way, this weekend, 2 more women. I'm up to 13 out of 100. So that's contribution. My spirit's like, and when I set this goal, I had no idea how I was going to do that. My spirit's doing it, not my ego. I'm not over here working hard to make 100 women millionaires. My spirit need, it's contribution to humanity, to others, to all. The second thing is growth. How do I grow personally? And so for me, that is, I want to hear, well done, Tasha. You took what I gave you. You took what I gave you. You went down there to earth and you did your thing, girl. You maximized, you grew. You're coming back more evolved, better than when you went. That is, I want wealth so I can grow. And then the last piece is a number. Yes, you have to put a number. Yes. But let that be the last thing, because that's ego driven, right? So we're going to redefine wealth in that way. Well, how is it going to contribute to others? How are you going to grow? And what is the number? And when you have that as your definition of wealth, now you are going to feed it with a new thought, not the thought that says you have to work hard to get it. You're going to create a really powerful, potent thought. I'm going to teach you how to do that. But first, we're going to do the baby steps, right? We're going to do our little thought inventory tonight. We're going to redefine wealth, and we're going to create a new potent thought and assign it an image. Why? Because the part of your brain that truly makes this easy is called your reticular activating system. And literally, its purpose is for you to go, this is the thought, this is what it looks like for me, this is the image, go make it happen. 80% of the results you have comes from your brain. Are we using it? You know that, but are we using it? That's what I want to teach. I want to set you free from this belief that you have to work hard when you literally have a superpower that can make it easy. But how do you use it? How do we do that? How do I stay consistent? That's what this week is all about, and showing you other opportunities for you to continue to do this. All right. You can do this. That's all I can tell you, is that you can do this. I'm looking over here at the comments. And the last thing I'm going to say is, think about, I said, if a surgeon was going to rewire your brain for you, what happens when you're in surgery? You go into a sterile environment. The surgeon's dressed, covered, right? He's got special, really clean tools. Everyone's all healthy and covered, and it's a very sterile. The environment is as much a part of the change of the surgery. We need it. We need it to be in a good environment for this to happen. So when you're going to try to do this on your own, self-directed neuroplasticity, you changing your brain, you doing the surgery. The environment is just as crucial. You cannot go on this journey to try to change 2 million years of a belief and still watch the news, still hang out with your same friends that believe the same thing, still have the same conversations you're having, still allow yourself to think negative, still be like watching the Instagram reels and still watching the same YouTube videos and still doing all that stuff. And that's like literally trying to change your brain, and you're doing it on a picnic table in a cafeteria, right? Germs everywhere. You can't do that. We have to have the right environment. So those are the three things. We want to redefine wealth. We want to create a potent thought and an image that reflects this new thought. We want to feed it to our reticular activating system. We're going to talk about that on Thursday. And the last piece is you want to be in the right environment. And you want to be in this environment until your brain changes, and it changes in a way that lasts forever. I did this work 11 years ago. I'm still reaping the benefits of it today. Does that make sense for everyone? Yeah? Awesome. Okay, so now I'm a big believer. I can talk about all this, but when you hear from a human, another woman just like you, what does this look like in real life? Like, great, Tasha, like that was like the practical portion of the class. We're in a biology class and everything I just told you was the theory. Now I want to show you like hands-on, real, just like you, this beautiful woman. I'm going to invite her to come on the screen. This is Lena, who was with me 4 months ago. Like, she was exactly where you all are right now back in September. She was watching this 5-day challenge. She was doing, all the activities. And Lena, what I love about her is that she's actually a data analyst. So she's super that side of the brain, logical, intelligent. I can't even imagine what hearing all of this was like for her. And so Lena is with me, and we're going through our program. She joins us for our program. And one day I hear Lena talking about, looking for contract work. She's a data analyst. She's looking for contract work, and she starts sharing by speaking what's in her mind, what her brain thinks. And she was saying things like, oh, the industry is just really tough. The economy is really bad. All of my peers, nobody has work. And literally by her talking, I recognize, oh my gosh, her brain is filled with this as the truth and the reality. And all I did was I introduced a new thought. Remember I told you step 3, introduce a new thought. I introduced a new thought to Lena, and I don't think it was 2 weeks later, I want to say manifested, but really she created with her new thought a 91,000 pound contract. Lena, I'm going to have you come on screen. Where are you? Krista, can you bring Lena on screen for me, please? Just help me out. Bring her on here. There we go. All right. So Lena, hello, beautiful.
Yeah.
So I want you, just like everyone watching, I want you to go back in time. You're watching the 5 days. Can you remember what you were feeling, thinking, what was your mindset at the time?
Yes. At the time, I was lost, and I just felt quite alone. I mean, I had people to talk to, but I still felt very alone, and ultimately, I was just really stuck. I knew I wanted to change my life. I knew I wanted something better. I had this huge financial burden, but I was just going round and round in circle, like in my head, and then like physically, and I just needed some guidance and support, but I didn't know who or where to, reach out to.
And one of the things I remember is you were like, I'm doing what you said. Well, you also said, so right, whatever, the stars aligned and you found me, probably through a Facebook ad, like most people. And so you got here, you're doing the challenge, and something inside was like, it's her. She's the way for me to change, right? Something inside of you just decided that.
Definitely.
And you trusted it. Go ahead.
Yes. It was basic. It was a Facebook ad. I didn't know who you were, Tash, beforehand, and it was the bit that it was the wealth. which is the definite tick point, but it was the ease. I really, life was so hard. Why is it so hard? And you were like, actually, it doesn't have to be hard. And that's what made, me connect to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we, at the end of the 5 days, I invited everyone to join me to continue the journey so I could teach you all the things I talked about, hold you accountable, keep you supported. And so we have that session where I give you the new thought. 2 weeks later, you get a 91,000 pound contract. And tell us like what that did for you and what life is like now.
Yeah, it was crazy, because the turning point was, the breakthrough was when you said, not to focus on the how, just let the universe, think, because I kept thinking, I need to get another job, I need to get this job, it was like literally all that, and focusing on the what I really wanted, which was my desires. And yeah, and then these like contracts came through, like at a time when my peers were actually, my friend, she still hasn't found a job since last September, so she's still looking. And how, I haven't been out of work since I met you, Tasha, and that's all because of you. Well, yeah, it's just the being with you. And I'm my sister-in-law said, Lena, you've been so positive. What's changed? So that people are noticing a change in me without me actually telling anybody what I've done. And the bonus is that my husband and I are so much closer. Before I met you, Tasha, we were arguing because we were arguing about money, because that all came from fear. We were so fearful of where we were in life. And yeah, and since then, this week, I've secured another contract, so that's like another £3,000 per month to my current earnings, something that I never even thought I could do before I met you.
What I love when I listen to your story, Lena, is that, again, for those of you that are watching, you're super logical. You're all in that side of the brain. You're like, how can it be possible? Do I need a business, right? Lena had a job. She had she's a career girl. She actually had no work at the time. She comes in and she's like, the economy says, the industry says. And I introduced a new thought. I was like, well, you are your economy. You are your industry. It doesn't have to be this way. You are so focused on how, go back to your spirit needs. What do you really want? How is it going to contribute? Oh, my husband and I are not going to fight about money anymore, right? And so just in doing that. But the thing I love when I hear Lena talk about her experience was, Lena, you said it last week. You're like, I didn't even realize I was changing my brain. I was having so much fun. Do you remember
Oh my
saying
God,
that?
yes. Yeah. I'm loving my journey with you, Tasha. Just the fact that it's so much fun. It's like, I'm so used to learning how to do programming, learning how to like code, and do analytics work, and me, and also how I've been brought up, my mum and dad, is that everything, if you want to be successful, you need to work hard. But my goodness, like for example, today, the task, how to spend your $11,000. That is that's the fun element of working with Tasha. It is so much fun.
Like, yeah, you're actually changing your brain just by doing that fun activity, right? You're putting yourself in that abundant state. Lena, what would you say, like, really, to yourself 4 months ago, if you were right back then? What would you say if you were like, do I continue? Do I put in the work? Is it worth it? What would you say?
Sorry, say that again.
Knowing what you know now, right? So we went on the journey. You stayed with me for the last 4 months. Everything's changed for you. Your kids have changed. Your marriage changed. Your money is coming in from every which direction while your peers are still not working. What would you say to yourself? Would you do it again? What would you say? Because
Oh
somewhere
my
in here
God.
today, Lena, is a woman that's where you were 4 months ago.
Gosh. So that's why I didn't understand your question. I was thinking, did she really just ask me that? Of course the answer is yes. that was why I didn't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, it's to me, I come from a very logical, it's like I've got proof now that it works, and it's easy. And Tasha is there guiding. Oh my God, yeah, sorry. Yes, 100%, 1,000%, as in like it's a no-brainer. And I don't
Oh,
know if I'm allowed to say this, but you know, I am now, I've signed up to do the 12 months mentorship with Tasha, and she's going to make 100 women millionaires. And I've already told Tasha I'm not stopping at 1 million. You know, I'm aiming for at least 2 million by the end of this year. I don't know how.
but you've learned now. You
Yeah,
don't need to know how, right? You've
no,
proven it. You
I
don't need,
just
but
all
we had to
yeah,
rewire your brain to get you there, right? So you're one
definitely.
of my millionaires. 2 million it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lena. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. So I promised you I wanted you to see, feel, touch, hear from someone like you. That's what's in store for you. Starts with doing the assignment today. So make sure you have all typed the word change. Make sure you've all typed the word change in the comments. And now go check Facebook Messenger. And by way of announcement, 2 things I want you to know. Tomorrow, we're talking about money traumas. This is going to help you understand why you're smart, why you work so hard, why you've invested so much, why you're doing all the things right, but it doesn't seem like you can keep money, you can make the kind of money you want, like something's going on in the middle. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And Wednesday night at 6 p.m. is VIP. It's a behind closed doors session. There's a lot that I'm going to share, and I want the women who say, I'm at that level, I want to know more. We're going to talk about a lot of things, and you're going to meet my 11th millionaire. So please ensure you check your emails, you do everything you need to do. You pay the $22 because I'm literally going to deliver $22,000 in value. I promise you there's going to be something on that call that can make you an extra $22,000 at minimum. And you get to pay $22 for it. So make sure you're registered for VIP. That's Wednesday night, 6 p.m. It's going to be on Zoom, not Facebook. So you have to be registered for it. All right. I'll see you tomorrow at 12. Mwah. Download your worksheets, do your homework, make me proud. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great afternoon. Bye, everyone.